Welcome to Vibrant Numerals and happy Mother's Day. In this video, we're going to look at some of the numerical vibrations of Mother's Day, but also how you can find numerical vibrations of any day and be able to apply them. I'm Elizabeth, and I help spiritual practitioners and number enthusiasts apply numerology to their practice and to their everyday life. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. So any name, whether it's a name of a day, like today is Mother's Day in the United States, or a name of a person, that numerical vibration is very important. So for even a person, it's the name and your life path number are your strongest vibrations that you're putting out. For a day like today, the numerical vibration of the name of the day is extra strong, more just because it's in the collective consciousness. It's like a big group of people recognize the name of that day and are thinking about it or saying the name of that day. And so then that increases the vibration of that name. And so Mother's Day, when we add up all the letters together, we get 128. And so for this numerical vibration, we have a 1, a 2, and an 8 that are blending together and that are giving us this vibration of Mother's Day. And this adds up to an 11. And there's a lot of 11 energy in the air right now, and I'll put together some more videos about that. But what this is basically saying to us is that this Mother's Day vibration is bringing us to this 11 where it's this back and forth where for people Mother's Day is either a good or a bad thing from their perspective. So we have to remember that this 11, but also any of these numerical vibrations, are neutral until they come into our perspective. And it's our perspective space that changes if it's a positive or a negative reaction for us. And so that's I think why this 11 is so dominant here, not just because it's a master number, but because it is this back and forth of, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Also because all of us mothers are human, we of course have our good days and our bad days, and so it's this juxtaposition between these two. This 11 adds up to 2. So when we bring together these two different extremes, or all of these different experiences, or all these different parts of being a human and being a mother, now it comes together, it couples together to give us this 2. And so the 2 is the outcome, the full representation of all of these numerical vibrations coming together and representing Mother's Day. So in all types of numerology, you are reducing down until you get to a manageable number. To look at the numerological vibrations of the day. In intuitive numerology, which is the type of numerology I do, these are the steps that I use. So first, we would look at what is the reduced number for the year. And so that would be 2 plus 2. Well, I skipped the 0, but the 0 is in there. And so this gives us 9. And so then we have 5 for May, we have 11 for the day, and then we have a 9 for the year. And when we add this up, sorry, don't like not having the top on there. When we add this up, then we get 25, I believe. Yes. We get 25. And so usually people are really most concerned about going from 25 to 7. So overall, it is a 7-day, where 7 is this perfect mix of masculine and feminine in an active way. So it's taking action in flow. But we can see that in this day, the best way to get to this action and flow is by going through this 25. So today, as a collective, we can be examining what are the changes that need to be happening. So let me change the color here. And we get that from this 5. So what are the changes? What are the changes that are happening, that need to happen, and especially related to your mother or your mothering or the nurturing? This is kind of coincides with the full moon in Scorpio that we have tomorrow on the 12th. But then that will help us get to this 2 to understand where the coupling is. And so if you remember that Mother's Day, that phrase, that name for the day is also a 2. It's an 11-2. So we'll get that here. So the name is 11-2, and then that's related to this 2 here. I didn't mean to scribble on it, but you know what I mean. And so we have this 2 coming up again. And so it's finding this position where it's not balancing between the 2 sides of mother and mothering, but it's actually bringing them together to make it a whole. Because as a whole person, you have both of these sides that come together to make you who you are. And so by looking at what these changes are happening within the day and how to bring together these what seem like extremes into one form, into one person or one kind of mothering, now we can take this action and flow. Now we can take action where it just flows smoothly without any complications. And I think that is a very good representation of mothering. So if you wanted to be able to look at what this day, regardless if it's Mother's Day or whatever day, what it actually is for you. So your personal numerical vibration of the day, then you just need your month and your day. So lucky for us mothers that don't want to reveal the year we were born, you don't have to for this portion. And so what you do is you take your day, and so then this example is June. So 6 plus 16. If you know what that date is, then you know. And then you add it to our numerology for the collective as a whole day. And so then, make sure I'm in the right spot. Yep. Then we add that 25 for the whole collective. And so then, let me see if I could do some math in my head. We will get, let's see, 22 plus the 25 gives us 47, which is interesting because this is another 11. And so 47, we have the 7 again of taking action and flow. So for somebody born on June 16th, now this is a 2-day instead of a 7-day. They are part of that 7-day because they're part of the collective, but it's a 2-day for them as an individual. So taking any kind of action or anything that you want to do on a particular day that's very personal to yourself, you would use your personal day. If you want to do a manifestation or an action that's for a bigger group or collective, then you would use the numerical vibration of the day. And so for this person born on June 16th, it's a 4711 day. And so this is very resonant with that Mother's Day name. And so now you have this 11 is amplified for this particular person. But here it's interesting because you have the 7 now is your first step. And so your first step is to find that action and flow, and that can come from that general 25 of everybody, of like, can you examine what are the changes and how to bring together those extremes to get to an action that's in flow, not an action that you're trying to force. And then you can build this foundation of the 4. But either way, whatever that action is, it helps to build this foundation. So then you could get to the 11 of being able to clearly see what the 2 sides and extremes are and balance between them, and then bring them together. And so you can do this calculation for any of the days. There is a numerology calculation guide that's free below to show you how to do this and some other calculations that are commonly found in numerology. Thank you for joining me for this video. Hopefully it was helpful and you can see how you're able to do the calculations to get your numerical vibrations for each individual day, whether it's by the name or by the actual date itself. And I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell so you can get my next video. Bye!